Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Hassan Campbell doubles down on his stance with Supreme and Prince. I want to do a reaction video to this because there's another side to what Hassan said. And we're going to play this out. Sit back, watch this. I think it's a dope video. It's a dope tutorial, and that's what this is for, educational purposes, to try and prevent those from winding up, you know, where we was at. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is where we at, right? Now, Hassan Campbell made a couple of statements as far as with a phone call that Big Preem made, and they put it on the internet, so that's why I'm speaking on it. And I respect everything that Big Preem said. Hassan Campbell had a couple of issues with it, but we don't do no arguing back and forth over here, Unique Mecca Audio, but I'm just going to speak my piece to try and clarify what I comprehended from my experience, you know, where Big Preem is coming from. All right, let's start it up.
I stand on what I say about Preem. I stand on what I don't know what part of the audio y'all didn't hear, so I'm going to play it again so I can break it down. I did a live last night, and I went in. Now I'm going to play it again because I don't understand what part y'all don't understand.
Due to recent events, the elevation to a place of peace and rest for my brother and friend, Irv Gotti, and the buffoonish display of my son, Kyle Robertson, I am forced to make a public statement in defense of Irv and his family. I do not indulge in idle chit-chat. When I speak, I have something to say. Kyle Robertson does not speak for Irv or Irv's family, nor does he speak for me or my nephew, Gerald Prince Miller.
I respect that.
Was disgusted when I heard about the things he said as far as representing Irv's family. I regret having to take these steps, exposing his lies and fraud. But as a man, you call out those who make inappropriate or false statements. No one gets a pass. I would not be who I am if I favored him simply because he's my son.
If you favored him simply because he's your son. Listen to the way he's talking in this situation. He's not speaking out on behalf of him being a father. He's sounding like he's speaking out like this is the Sons of Anarchy, like it's a gang.
No, Haas. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. No, Cypher. Let's rock. You know I respect you, Haas, but I don't agree with that. He's speaking to him as a father, Haas. He's speaking to him as a father that has a son that chose to be a soldier and get involved in a war of survival and making his own path. And if what he does along that path of trying to create his own brand reflects on who and what his father stands for, now the father have to say, I must let the world know that even though you're my son, you don't get a pass for violating my code that I live by, that I stand by, that I die by, that the viewers may not stand by, that Hassan Campbell may not stand by. But this is indeed a father talking to his son that chose to be a soldier. So he's not talking to him as a father to a child or a father to a son. He's talking to him as a general, as an El Capitan to a soldier. Because his son is in the war. Once he got on social media, he brought the whole brand behind him. And when he used the words we, he brought the brand behind them. And the father is letting them know that their legacy is so clean and so pure. Prince came home. I haven't had the honor of meeting Prince. And I say honor because I respect men. But I had the honor of meeting Harry Hunt, a.k.a. C. I had the honor of meeting Black Just, the twins with the motorcycles, Big D, you know, from Queens. And I'm even going to throw Jesus in there, but Jesus was from Brooklyn, but I always tease Jesus that, man, you move smooth like a Queens dude. You don't move grimy like a Brooklyn dude. Because that's how we said it, because Jesus was real cool, man. Puerto Rican, rest in peace. Had the sneaker store on 132nd. But I ran with everybody. I was out there when Prince was out there. But he's in his league. Let's talk about quick. We got Baby Wise. That's my man out there. Let's not forget. Baby Wise, contact me. You know, that's family. You know, but I stay in my lane, and there's certain people, other you know, legends of my status that I don't speak on. That's why I didn't get into, you know, Prince and, you know, Supreme, because Supreme is still fighting his case. So anything we say about Supreme may interfere with his case. So that's what he's dealing with, that whatever his son do may interfere with his case as well. So on the strength of that, he's talking to his son, not as a son, but as a soldier. Because he's out there in the world with something that could jeopardize, forget the brand, his life. So by Preem stepping in and making that statement that he's denouncing him, that young man heard him loud and clear. So everything was right on point, Hans. You understand? I understand what you're saying, but from where I'm sitting, you know what I mean? I fully understand what he's saying. And I know, Hassan, you're talking to the civilian viewers out there, but I'm talking to the gangster viewers. And we know that the gangsters relate to you too, Haas, because you're a straight gangster. Big shout out to B.O., big shout out to T-Mac, the whole Cortland Ave, everybody, you know, Bronx River. So it's not to take nothing from you. I'm just saying that I don't like to just see one side of a story go. No, that's not the way a father's supposed to talk to a son. But when a father is a soldier in the war, is a general in the war, that's the way he must talk to his son, because there's different consequences that could come behind the actions. A regular YouTuber go up there and say anything, it don't mean nothing. But then now when Supreme's son go up there and say something, it carries weight. So that's why he stepped in. And what I respect is that Supreme heard his father's message, man, and this played out, and I'm going to try and break this down the best way I can. Let's get back to Hassan Cambel, man. I think you did a great job, Haas, and I would like to sit down with you one-on-one, and we could do it live on your channel, my channel, wherever, because that's my brother Hassan. Ain't got nothing against him, and we build like that, and my number is up there, and I met him the same way, because I put my number up there for anybody that got an issue with what I'm saying. But I like to sit down with you, Haas, so we can really discuss this, because you're letting them know the dark, ugly side from a civilian point of view, because you're working with saving the youth, but I'm working with saving the youth that's a little bit more deeper in the gully, deeper in the grit of the cities. That's the ones I'm talking to. That's why, you know, I do it the way I do it. But what you said is right. That's not the way a father talk to a son. When a father and a son is living a civilian world, they're trying to live a civilian world, but the father is still going to be the man that he is from the morals and principles that he was raised under. And he's going to stand for that, even though he don't want his son to follow in his footsteps. But if his son cross or blur the line of his, you know, what y'all call brand, you know, which is not, Preem is not even thinking about no brand. He's just thinking about his honor as his name, him and his nephew, the two greatest that ever did it. You know what I mean? Out there in Queens, you can't take that away from him. You know what I mean? And they both stood tall under all circumstances. And that's why I'm speaking up for them, Hans. No disrespect, because Preem is not going to come on here and get into this. And the same way he told his son don't do it. And neither is Prince, because he's on a different type of time. But I'm on social media, so I'm speaking for the ex-gangsters, gangsters, whatever you want to call it, the stand-up men. But love what you said, Haas. Let's keep it moving.
And he's talking to a gang member.
My son, and I love him. But I will never condone or associate with his conduct and behavior on the internet. I let him know men don't argue and beef behind a mic on the internet. Real men move in silence.
Okay, I hear that. Okay. I could agree with that part right there.
Thank you, Haas.
He had a choice, me or the net. He made his choice. And until he forsakes the clown show, which is the internet, I will never speak or associate with him, especially when he makes veiled threats, talking about we. Who is we? Prince and myself do not promote threats of violence. We different. We are masters of self-defense. If you ain't talking about positivity or growth and goals, keep your mouth shut.
See, I'm going to say this, right? Hold on, Haas. I'm going to let you pause it when you're ready, but I'm going to say this. Listen to the words that's being said. Listen to the noise in the background. That's a man trapped in the belly of the beast, reaching out to his seed to let him know who he is. He's giving him life lessons. These is life lessons from behind the wall, from a father to a son. Our choices put us behind the wall, but our choices on how to communicate, deal, and raise our children is also ours. Like the choice to violate the law, to wind up behind the wall was ours. That's it. But this is a warrior. This is a warrior talking to his son. This is not a civilian talking to his son. So don't try to confuse the two. Don't get it twisted. Preem is a gangster. His son is the son of a gangster that's trying to find his own light. And Preem as the father and Prince as the uncle is sitting back, letting him move in the matter he feel to move until it affects their honor. These is men that would die for their honor. These is men that social media is going to try and pick apart, and in a minute they're going to make up stories about them because that's what social media do. But men like me is going to speak up for men like this that can't come on or choose not to come on social media. This is the avenue I chose. I watch what I say and how I say it because I know from our era, violating someone could lead to decapitation. Y'all haven't seen war. Preem seen war, and he's talking to his son and letting him know, don't jump into a war and don't speak on the family to bring the family's, honor behind you speaking on something that you didn't run by me as the king, because you don't know, because a lot of things transpired before you was even born. And while you was growing up, things happened. Let's play this out.
That goes for everybody. Rest in peace, little bro. And mourn in peace, the entire Lorenzo family. If a person refuses to learn, leave that person alone.
Back.
I gotta go.
All right, come on.
First and foremost, right? Not only did Preem disown his son all over the internet, right? But you also put a green light on him, because all the enemies that your son accumulated standing up for your name, then you get on the internet and you tell the whole world that you disassociated yourself with your son. You put a green light on him.
Now, Haas, it does, but it doesn't. But listen, right? Haas, you know the street. You're my equal. You're my survivor. We did. By him letting it be known, the other men out there, the other kings out there, they know that he's not speaking for his father. But believe me, they know if they touch his son, forget what he said, now you spilt the blood of my son. So anyone that decide to even think or phantom of doing something to his son already know that at the end of the day, just like you're saying, Haas, that's his father. He could disagree, disown whatever he says, whatever his son says, to let it know that he don't stand for that. But never would that be equivalent to giving a green light on him. Because that's not, that now that's thinking, no disrespect, Haas. That's how gang members think. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I could be ready to kill my brother, my best friend. I maybe not talk to him for a week because we both decided to give each other time and space because we was ready to really kill each other. And we gave each other that time and space. But in between that time and space, one of us hear that one of us is in a situation and forget what we was arguing about that the time and space was there for. We strapping up and gonna handle that beef for our brother, the same one that we're not and wasn't talking to. And then after the beef, and I make sure or he makes sure that I'm safe, and we go back to not talking until we're ready. So it's like that little intermission was nothing more than an intermission. So at no time by Preem saying that, no time by Preem saying that he disavowed himself from what his son was saying, that he's not speaking for them, is that equivalent to him saying, oh, go harm my son, I'm not going to do nothing. No, he's saying that he's drawing the line. Everybody know that that's still that man's son. And he say if you keep doing that clown stuff, that you came from proud men. We don't do this internet thing like that.
And see, my whole thing is you humiliated him in front of the whole world. You put a green light on him and left him for dead.
No, he didn't humiliate that young man. He spoke to that young man as a father the only way that he could, being in 88 Supermax underground. That's why you heard all that noise. And because he wanted to make sure his son knew how strongly he felt about that. His son didn't go up there and start a war with the father. Oh, you wasn't there for me anyway. His son did not do none of that. The son came on, I'm going to try and find it for you and play it in his video, and he accepted his chastisement, whether it was in public or private, because we as men, as warriors, is not governed by our feelings and emotions. We're governed as men, as warriors, by our instinct and desire to survive. And that's it. And little Preem is no more than a son lost without his father, because it shows how the war on drugs and the choices that we made to poison our community and terrorize our community could take us away from our children. So that's why if anyone is watching this and think it's cool to break the law, to go to jail, Preem doing everything he can to get out of jail. Prince, thank Allah, is out of jail. And little Preem, we don't want you in jail or in the ground by you carrying on with, as your father said, this buffoonery. And I had the honor of meeting little Preem. Good, strong, intelligent young man. And I gave him the utmost respect. And he gave it to me, But it is what it is, man. Let's play this shit right here.
And see, me, I could understand. You said I don't agree with what he said. I can understand Preem correcting him and saying, I'm not standing by those acts that he conducted on the internet. But when you talk to him like he a gang member part of the set,
No. He talked to him like he was a man, like he was a soldier. That was a general talking to a soldier. No, set, take it out. Gang, take it out. This a father talking to a son, how their brand is moving. It's not no Supreme Team, no gang. It was Supreme, and it was a group of men, and the media probably is the one that labeled them Supreme Team. But they turned it into the gang mentality. But Supreme Team is and was never a gang. They was on the streets when I was on the street. They was a group of dudes was getting money in Queens. And like I said, I was over there in Baisley with Baby Wise. These men still alive will tell you who I am. You know, Big D. Like I said, Black Just. You know, the twins with the motorcycle. You know, come on, dog. We don't need to do all of that. Let's just keep it 100, man. So I'm just saying that I just wanted to speak for these men because they can't speak for themselves. And like I said, the most views you get, that becomes the truth. And I don't want, you know what I mean? The Hassan's interpretation to just be the truth. I want them to see both sides, that I'm speaking from a father, you know, that's talking to a soldier. And it sounds to me, if I'm wrong, Hassan, like I said, I'm inviting you, man. You could sit down and talk and do this respectfully. We've always been respectable. And, you know, but I take it, Hassan, I may be wrong. I take it that you're saying that like a father talking to a son. But this is not a father that had a 9 to 5 and went to school and went home every night and laid down with his children. This is a father that was in the trenches, and now his son is in the trenches. So we have to talk to him as a warrior in the trenches. That's it, big brother. Play the rest of this, man.
and say that he's not exempt, and then say that you're going to distance yourself and tell everybody else. You basically said in this audio, you told everybody to fall back off of him. So whatever happens to him because he got emotional.
Nah, he said to fall back off of him, meaning he's not speaking for us. Don't pay that no mind. And that's why he did the manly thing to make the statement coming from himself that Preem himself said he don't speak for his son. Then his son as a soldier, as a warrior, got right in line and put up a video on YouTube apologizing as a man within 24 hours. He apologized faster than did he settle the lawsuit with Cassie. Damn it. He don't get nothing for that. That young man didn't wait 2 days, a day. When a matter of hours, he heard what his father said, man, because he's a soldier, but his father's not there for the day-to-day physical guidance. So when he get these opportunities, when the father could make a call and say anything to him, he honors and treasures it as a warrior, as a son.
He's not supposed to be emotional. He's only human. Somebody died and somebody else. Irv Gotti died. And 50 Cent thought it was funny. He cracked jokes on the internet. Little Preem has a relationship with Irv Gotti. So he got upset. He had a right to.
Nah, he had a right to feel that way, Haas. He had a right to feel that way. But he did not have a right to go on YouTube and do that. He didn't have no right to go up there and speak for the father and the uncle on how the family felt by saying we this and we that. No, he had no right to do that. He's just a soldier, family. You have to go through the chain of command. But he had a right to feel that way, but not to react that way. You know, that's where that's at. He had a right to feel that way, but not to act that way. So don't sit there and get it confused thinking that, you know, talking about the viewers, not you, Haas. Don't go getting it confused, put this airboard in, and thinking that everything is sweet, that you could just say what you want and there's no consequences, you know? The father and the uncle came from my era where we know there's consequences to words. Sometimes death comes from words. The biggest wars of all time came from words. And that's what y'all don't understand. This social media is going to create so much war, you know? So I just don't get it, you know? I just don't get it, but we're going to get it right. So let me see where we at. Finish playing this.
Yes, he said too much. No, he didn't take in consideration the rest of the family. I get that. But the reality of it is, it doesn't sit right with me when I know that when Preem was in his mother's stomach.
Yo, we ain't gonna do that. Yo, I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna stop it right there because I don't agree with none of that. You know what I mean? I don't do that type of thing on my channel. That's just me. You know, but yo, this was a great tutorial, Haas. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like I said, my number is gonna be flashing on the screen, 917. You already know my number. I ain't gotta tell you my number. But anyway, yo, holla at me. I'd like to sit down with you so that we could talk about this, man. And I think you made some good points because the youth need to hear both sides. You know, that's why we have to get off the street so we could do like Haas say and talk to our children like a father to a son. But when we was already out there, and there was already bridges burnt and, you know, roads crossed that certain people may not be able to forgive or forget the bridge that was crossed along our, you know, heyday. You know, we still have to be on point and make sure our seed is on point as well. That's all I'm saying. All right? But thank you, Haas. Did a great show. Let's tap out. Been on here long enough. Subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel, Juanita Mecca Audio, spelled Juanita. Juanita Mecca Audio and Unique Mecca Audio, Prison Stories, and Mecca Audio TV. Alright?
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio.